So, Savannah Marshall, how's lockdown life?
It's not too bad, you know. It's not too bad for me. I'm not enjoying it, but I'm getting on with it, so to speak.
What's your home situation like? Who do you live with and stuff?
So I live in Manchester at the moment, but I've like through training and stuff. But I've come back to Hartlepool, so I'm in my mum's spare bedroom.
Is that nice? You enjoying it?
Um, it, yeah, because it's changed. It's a change. I'm enjoying spending time with my family. Um, it's just one of them things you can't grumble.
And obviously, last week was supposed to be when you were challenging for your first world title against Giovanna Perez. You bit kind of bittersweet last weekend when you were thinking about it.
Yeah, a little bit. I kept thinking on the Friday, I thought, I'd a bit just been getting weighed in now. And when I woke up on the Sunday, I woke up and thought, I should be a world champion right now. So it's a little bit. It was one of them things like coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all that. But I'm one of the lucky ones. My date has just been postponed to June the 27th. So it's not like my date got cancelled or anything like that. So I've still got it to aim for.
How confident are you that that new date's going to hold up? Obviously, we still don't know what's going on in terms of lockdown and when the restrictions are going to be eased.
Yeah, I personally think that it's a bit too early, but until Eddie or the government say otherwise, I've still got to aim for that date. I've still got to train for that date.
I'm sure Eddie will love being put in the same kind of context as the government in this situation. He probably is very powerful in some ways, but
Yeah.
what can you tell us about Giovanna Perez? Because I'm sure a lot of people over here wouldn't have seen her fight before.
Yeah, she's the reigning light heavyweight champion. She holds the WBO. Um, I think she's only ever been beat once out of nine bouts, 9 fights. So she, like I said, she's an active world champion. I think she only ever got beaten one of a fist fight she had. Um, yeah, she's powerful. She's a Brazilian born, but she lives in New Zealand, so she's got the makings of you know, just being generally really tough.
And do you wish, with the current kind of travel restrictions, that she was from somewhere else?
Well, my sister lives in Australia, and she was saying that New Zealand are one of the strictest countries at the minute for letting people in and out of the country. So that's been playing on my mind a little bit, thinking, 12 weeks' time, is it, are people going to be able to travel, all over the world? But it's also like Lewis Ritson. I think Lewis's opponent's either from America or Mexico, I think.
Mexico, yeah, Vasquez.
So, yeah, so I know they're proper, hot on travel at the minute. So, yeah.
So it's all positive then.
Yeah, everyone's in the same boat. If it was just my fight that had been cancelled, I'd be fuming. I'd be absolutely raging. But because everyone's in the same boat, there's nothing you can do.
Like you say, you've got to train as if it is happening on that day. And how are you getting around the restrictions to train? What are you getting up to in a regime at the moment?
Well, to be honest, I only found out 2 weeks before my fight that had been pushed back. So really, I was at the peak of my fitness. I was just, kind of coming down, speeding up type training. So, and now this would have been the week after my fight, so I'd have been off now anyway. So the way I'm looking at it is that, I was nearly at the peak of my fitness. 1 or 2 weeks proper taking my foot off the gas, and then I would have been aiming for a new date, June the 27th. So really looking at that way, it's worked out quite well for me because I would have had a couple of weeks taking my foot off the gas and relaxing, and then it's back into another 8-10 week hard camp.
Are you missing?
But
Oh, God. Sorry.
yeah, I was just going to say, but at the moment, all I've really been doing is just running. running a little bit of weight, because that's probably what I would have been doing anyway.
And I suppose the fact that it's up at super middleweight as well gives you a bit more to play with.
Light heavy.
Oh, sorry, light heavy instead of super middle.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I don't really go that big anyway. I'm quite like, I don't really go that big anyway, so it hasn't really bothered me.
Are you missing Peter at all?
A little bit actually. He texted me this morning. He rang me last week, so we're still in close contact.
Yeah, we spoke to him last week or maybe earlier this week for this. So the days are just blending into each other now, aren't they? But he had like a brickwork background similar to what you've got. Maybe he's rubbing off on you a little bit.
Is that where you asked me where you were? Did you think I was in his spare bedroom?
He seemed like he was in a cave or something. He said it was like just a normal room in his house, but his office, I think he said. But I wouldn't want to be stuck in there with him, to be honest. But
yeah.
How have you found working with him thus far? I mean, he doesn't have a massive stable of fighters, so you get a lot more one-on-one attention, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly. So there's only me and Hughie. Anyway, and I think when I first started training him, he had a couple of other fighters. Like I said, it's just me and Hughie. But yeah, you're right. It is a lot more one-on-one. But we train at Gary Booth's gym, and Gary's got quite a few lads. So you get like the banter and mixing them with all them as well. So it's not like it's just three of us in the gym, so to speak. So it's good. It's a good little setup.
Do you have to do a lot of your sparring with male boxers simply because there's not as many female boxers, and especially at your weight as well?
Yeah, the majority of my sparring is with male boxers. Yeah.
Who can you tell us some of the guys you've been sparring at least in the last year or so that we know of?
Just local lads, really. I spar a lot of Gary's lads. One guy who I was sparring with, who people would probably know, Vinjaga Singh, an Indian pro.
Vijender Singh, yeah.
Yeah, I jumped in and had a couple of rounds with him, which was a good experience because he's quite established, especially in India. But it's normally just local lads. I spar a lot of amateurs for the speed, so I get a good mix, really.
Do you ever move around with Hughie? Obviously, he's much bigger than you, but like technical spar or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a couple of times. Yeah, he's very big on not like hurting me or anything like that. But if he does catch me, you can see his face drops. He's like, "You're okay, you're okay." Yeah, I'm fine. We are trying to kill him.
He seems like that sort of guy. He does seem like a very traditional, gentlemanly kind of guy, you know.
Oh yeah, he is. There's been a couple of times when I've sparred lads and they've tried to knock my head off. And after the spar, he'll come over and go, "Didn't like that. He shouldn't be hitting you like that."
Brilliant. He's like a big brother.
Yeah, he is.
How's it been to kind of see how he's progressed while you've been progressing as well? Obviously, it's different levels at the moment, but he's kind of changing his style. He's kind of in transition in that sense at the moment. Has it been quite inspiring to see the changes he's making as well?
Yeah, definitely. One thing I think about Hughie is I've never known any boxer have so much bad luck. Like if he's not getting cut, he's getting injured, or it's not like he ducks anyone. He really doesn't, and he trains. I've never seen anyone train so hard. So no one can sit there and say he doesn't want it, because if they see the amount of work he puts in, it's unbelievable. But yeah, it's great to have someone to train alongside someone like that. I think my first ever camp for my first ever pro fight, it was when Hughie was training to fight Parker. So it's all like world class camps. And I've seen it when he gets world class sparring in, when he does 12, 15 rounds with 4 different opponents. So I'm picking all little things up of like what he does, because he's up there with it. He's fighting the world's best.
And back to your own career, is light heavyweight going to be just to win the world title and then you'll go back down to your normal weight, or could you see yourself staying there and defending it?
No, I'm a super middle with aspirations are coming down to middle. But the reason why I took this opportunity, because like I said, it was an opportunity that I couldn't miss. It was fighting a current world champion, the two super middle world champions at super middle. They'd both just fought, so the opportunity wasn't there to fight them in Newcastle. So like Eddie approached Peter and said, "Look, there's an opportunity to fight a world champion, but it's at light heavy." So that's how that come about. It wasn't because I can't make the weight or anything like that.
You could end up a 3-weight world champion.
Yeah,
Going
yeah.
down. I'm not sure if that's ever happened.
Yeah, exactly.
It's usually going up in weight, isn't it, when people can't make it anymore? I'm not sure if anyone's ever done that. I'd have to have a look, but certainly not in the male side, I don't think. But I'd have to check.
Yeah, yeah.
Bit of history for you. People always ask you about Claressa Shields, obviously, and I imagine they probably will continue to do so until you guys fight as professionals. Does it bother you at all that your careers seem to be interlinked?
No, not really. If anything, it's worked out well for me. I don't have 2 Olympic medals, and really, women's boxing isn't nowhere near as established as the men's. So you can turn over in the men's with hardly no amateur background, and do English, British, eventually get onto world level. But with the women's, because it's a lot more or less established, it's really hard to like make a mark or make any money. So I've got to win over a two-time Olympian. So if that's going to get me places, I'm going to use it.
And because women's boxing isn't yet as prominent as the male side of the sport, do you ever feel any extra pressure to kind of put yourself out there, increase your profile, that side of it away from the actual boxing itself?
Yeah, 100%. Especially the way how the sport has gone. Now it's not just about the boxing. It's about the personality, and it's about selling tickets. You could sell tickets and be not even British, be not even English level. But if you could sell them tickets and people are interested in watching you, then you're gonna get on them big shows. You're gonna be active. Promoters are gonna want to show you on telly. So it's not just about the boxing anymore.
And how do you kind of adapt to that? Because you're not, someone like a Dave Allen, for example. You're not going to be doing silly pranks or, making a real show of yourself on social media and that kind of thing. But how do you adapt to the changing way of boxing and how you have to put yourself out there more than the old days?
I'm quite shy and keep myself to myself anyway. So, like you said, being a Dave Allen, so to speak, is really not me. But I do try to put myself out there as much as I can. But like I said, I'm not the type to be in your face. So maybe I do rely on my boxing a bit too much.
Well, you can't help who you are. I just wondered if you felt kind of
Yeah.
extra pressure to change because of it, and you shouldn't, but it's just the way boxing is today, I think.
Do you know, now you've said that, not a lot of pressure, but I do, especially being a woman, because any woman in sport, it's better to have that sex appeal and, in your face, which, gets you a lot more fans, so to speak.
But then Katie Taylor's not particularly in your face, and she lets her boxing do the talking. It doesn't seem to have done too bad for her so far.
Yeah, that is true. So maybe I'm just following in Katie Taylor's footsteps. It hasn't been too bad for it to wear.
We just need to get you the headline fights on TV, and then it'll go from there, I think.
Yeah, hopefully.
Brilliant. Well, I really appreciate you updating us on what's going on with you, and hopefully we get to do this in person sometime soon when all the
Yeah,
restrictions are
yeah.
lifted.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome, and yeah, we'll see you soon, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you, Danny.
Brilliant. Take care.